All right, it's 4:30. Let's call the meeting to order. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, item any public comment. Anything going on out there, Deb?
Nope, we have no attendees for the channel.
Okay. I need a motion to approve the minutes from the October 10th meeting. Motion.
Second.
Any discussion, changes? Okay, all those in favor state by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Kathy, we have a correspondence from Sarah Bueller.
Yes, Sarah had written and asked me city about potentially putting back the baseball field at the high school. I would suggest that we forward this over to
High school? Yeah.
Okay. Would we respond to her that that's not in our? Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah.
She was, yeah, just.
Okay, since time is of the essence, on F, should we just skip to F4 for Chris?
Sure. Yeah, I think we should, but Peter, do you want to be right? I think we did the 3 month.
Oh, and then lead into Chris? Okay, that's good. Yeah, Kathy, why don't you do our 3 month look ahead? And then Chris will get right to you because I know you're crunching for time.
So that was nice to put together a 3 month look ahead for us. And this is just really in basic terms at kind of 10,000 feet. But tonight we're going to review the updated plans of the committee. That's what Chris is going to do. Then we are going to suggest that we set up a professional partnership committee, and we'll go into that as help us do RFPs and different things. We're modeling kind of our approach as what the high school building committee has been doing, which has been working out really well. The November town council and building committee meeting. Then in December, we're going to get a design development, a full set of review with the committee. For us, we're going to approve some of the RFPs that we're going to talk about later on today, a commissioning service, a professional engineering service, and a rating form for our RFPs. And we're also going to schedule a value engineering subcommittee who will need to go back out once we get our documents money. So that committee will start looking at. In January, we'll accept the updated cost estimate and approval and the updated value engineering list as presented. We're going to have an executive session to the RFPs and to select a commissioning service agent and also to authorize me to sign contracts, things of that nature. And we're going to select the finalist for the professional engineering services. So two things, a commissioning agent and a professional engineering service. We'll go that again later on, but I just want to be, Chris has some time constraints today. But so right now he's just going to go through the building one last time, and then he's going to lead the meeting. We'll go through the rest.
Okay. So Chris, why don't you take it from there? Who has control of the?
Thank you, and thank you for accommodating. I know this was a last minute announcement. I appreciate it, and I will take control. I'm on a mobile hotspot, so if I drop out or if I'm lagging, please let me know. And Devin, I sent you the plans in case you need to pull them up. But let me know when you can see the first floor plan, and I'll jump right into it.
We can see it.
Great. So this is the main level, and to orient ourselves, Route 4 would be at the bottom of the page down the hill. Our new parking lot is off to the left-hand side of the building. This piece in the back is our new lobby entry addition. So the two doors into the vestibule, then a single door leading from the secure vestibule into the lobby area. We are investigating loose, soft furniture for this area, but it's not depicted yet in this plan. All of the other furniture that you see in this plan are either items that have been verified from existing town hall by Amanda and our interiors team that we are recommending to bring to the new town hall. And in a few instances, we are recommending some supplemental furniture. And that's something we'll get into more detail with Kathy and Kat as we finalize our recommendations and review which pieces of furniture we recommend being new versus reused. But just as a general summary, and Amanda, correct me if I'm wrong, I think we're probably in the 80 to 90% of reusing existing furniture. It's not all of the same age, but most of it is of a newer age and a condition where we feel there's life left in it and it's worth bringing with you to this facility. Getting back into the plan itself, this is the elevator off of your new lobby, the reception counter and mailroom with an opening that will be within this wall here, facing people as they enter the building. And I'm zooming in, so hopefully it's a little easier to see, but if you want me to zoom out, please let me know. The entry doors off of this lobby would take you down into the main corridor system where we have recreation storage. We've eliminated the overhead door and just providing a double door to the exterior now for rec storage. And I'm going to zoom out so we can get a better sense of the whole plan. So the corridor system would be this west corridor off of the lobby, your primary corridor running down the center of the building, and then what we're calling the east corridor on the opposite side of the multi-purpose room. Just to reorient everybody again, we have our 2 stairs at each end of the main corridor. And then our primary departments on this first floor are town clerk. This is the vault that I'm highlighting. The tax collector in roughly this location with some service windows out to the corridor and some computer terminals in the corridor as well. And then the tax assessor down in the bottom right-hand corner. These departments really haven't changed much except for some minor tweaks of moving walls and shifting things to accommodate some security requests from the departments and also to accommodate the furniture and files now that we've field verified everything that they have. But really not many changes from the last pre-referendum plans that we were looking at, except that added level of detail. Registrar of Voters remains in this location. And again, they're kind of doubling their size of what they have right now. So this is a much more accommodating office space and work area for them, with their primary office in the front off of the main corridor. And then this would be their primary storage and workroom. They do have supplemental storage in this location. As we come down this east corridor to what is the rec department office, you see this new wall. This is our security wall for when there are evening or night events in the gymnasium. So if someone were to come into the building at that time, they would have access to the main lobby. And you see this pair of double doors that could be secured to prevent them from coming into the town hall areas. They could enter the gymnasium through this set of double doors. And then this set of double doors on the right-hand side would provide them access into the toilet rooms, the recreation office, assuming that's open at those times, and then 2 means of egress out of this corridor on the right-hand side. But this wall and this new door would be locked at those times to prevent access into other areas of town hall. So to accommodate all this, we've reoriented these toilets slightly and also adjusted the rec department office slightly to give them 1 private office, an open office with 3 workstations, and a small storage room. In terms of the multi-purpose gym, this area hasn't changed in size, and we're still planning on a pickleball court and some half basketball hoops and some volleyball stanchions as well. One of the primary changes to this area was eliminating that folding operable wall that used to separate the multi-purpose gym from the classroom studio. This was a rec department request, but it's also likely a budget saving item. There's some cost added and some cost removed based on what I'm going to explain shortly. But removing that wall in itself is a dollar saver. And we now have a permanent wall with an area where some loose seats or movable seats could be placed to view events. And then the classroom studio behind that with 2 means of egress as required by code. Some minor adjustments to these storage rooms. The one on the left remains the same with a single door into the gym and a double door into the classroom studio. But the storage room on the right, we've eliminated the double door in the classroom studio. This gives them a presentation wall or a wall for a TV monitor if they're having classes or events that require digital display. And then we just maintain the single door for that storage room off of the multi-purpose gym area. I can pause here, and any questions on this floor before we move up to the next level?
Can you hear me, Chris? It's G. I'm just curious about
Yes.
sound from the gym with these offices down here. What's that gonna be like for the town clerk, all the people down here if they're playing pickleball or whatever in the gym? Is it far enough away?
Yeah, Gene. Yeah, great question. Very minimal. We have thick masonry walls that were originally exterior walls surrounding most of this multi-purpose gym, which will provide acoustic value. But then we also have this buffer of the storage rooms and the classroom studio, as well as the main corridor. So it's really 1, 2, 3 walls that sound would need to transmit through before it could even be heard in these department offices. So I don't anticipate any acoustic concerns. If you're going to hear basketballs bouncing or pickleball playing, it's going to be in the lobby area up here and then in the rec and toilet room area on this side.
And the only other question I have, the exit over what I'm looking at to the left, I can't remember what you said, that space where the stairs are right above that, that's a door out above the.
No, this door?
Yeah.
Yeah, so rec storage originally had, the rec department had requests for indoor and outdoor storage. And the outdoor storage, we had originally viewed it as, maybe picnic tables or a golf cart. That's not coming up here. To accommodate what we thought was going in there, we previously had like an 8-foot wide overhead door, like you would see in a residential garage. Since they don't have those big pieces of equipment moving in and out of this space, we adjusted that to just be a double door so they can still have access from the exterior to this storage area without coming through the building if they're, grabbing something for a location off site. But it's going to look much more appropriate from the exterior than an overhead door would on this side, particularly since that's right off of our new parking lot.
Thank you.
Sure. And if I have to jump off at 5, Amanda is here with me, and she's worked a lot on these plans, so she will take over for me. But moving up to the second floor, the primary function on this floor is development office, which encompasses this entire bottom bar. And again, like the departments we looked at below, there were some wall shifts. We gave a little more room to the open reception staff area, adjusted a few of the private offices and the copy file room, but really no major changes in this wing of the building. The real significant change here is, if you remember discussing this area on the second floor, and forgive me, it's actually this area roughly. So when this building was originally built in 1928, this was a 2-story volume to the gym below. In the 1970s, they infilled this floor area to create world language classrooms and office space. We had looked pre-referendum at removing that floor infill to bring back the 2-story space. In talking with the town leaders, recently, there's a desire and a need to have more storage for the development office. And we all agreed this was a prime opportunity to capture that space since it's already a floor structure and a floor system. The only work that needs to be done is currently this floor projects out into the gymnasiums below. It actually, where my blue bar is where the end of the floor is. So we'd be removing that small strip that projects into our gymnasium space. We'd have to provide some new structure to pick up the new floor edge, but we would then be keeping all the flooring and the walls in this area and repurposing that for development office storage. With doing so, we've shifted the break room to the corner of the building, giving them some windows and daylight, natural light into that space. It's directly off the elevator, which makes a lot of sense because this is a shared break room for all departments on all floors. And otherwise, everything remains relatively similar. We have a custodial office and storage room there, a small server room, what we call an IDF room on this side, the IT department and their main server room in the top right-hand corner. And then we have the gang toilets as well as a private toilet that all currently exist in these locations. So just minor renovations to these toilet rooms. I'll move up and feel free to jump in if there are any questions at any time. So this is our third floor. And the changes here involve a few items. If you recall, previously the town manager's office was in the lower left-hand corner of this floor plan, and then the multi-purpose training and storage areas were in the lower right-hand corner. We have flipped those two functions. So town manager now takes up this space, multi-purpose training and town storage takes up this area. And what was dedicated for storage previously in this upper left-hand corner, we've divided that into two conference rooms. And what that does is creates a conference center at this end of the building. Again, directly off the stair and directly off the elevator. So these areas are shared by all town departments, also available for public use and training in this larger conference room. But that made a lot of sense just to group all these spaces so they're a little more convenient for people coming either up this stair or up this primary elevator. And it also gives the town manager's office a little bit more privacy on that right-hand side of the building. The finance department remains where they were currently with a few minor wall shifts, nothing significant. And then again, this is still town storage in the upper right-hand corner and our toilet rooms, similar to the floor below. These exist currently in these locations. So really minor renovation, replacing toilets and sinks, et cetera, in their current location.
Any questions?
We went through this, Kristen, Russ, and Kat and I, we did I think that these changes really, they make that.
Yes, but she is.
Yeah, walking on it, yeah.
These changes do anything to the exterior, or that's the same?
No adjustments to the exterior.
On the reception area downstairs at the entrance, is that an existing window that is the opening? Did I see that?
No, we would be looking at creating a new opening in that wall.
I mean, I don't know what. It'd be nice to send it on the door, but then maybe it's too close to the window.
Yeah, I don't think this is graphically displaying correctly because we had, or at least I had envisioned, yes, a wider opening perhaps, but I agree, getting that centered on the door so the reception staff is sitting focused as people come through makes a lot of sense. We'll adjust that.
It was great.
Okay.
The options, I mean, doors being locked at the stairwells and the storages.
Right, yeah.
You guys can come in those doors, but nobody can go out.
Yeah, go out. Anything, we have any other questions for Chris?
I assume that the elevator would be, accessible. Yeah, is that correct? So if you just have the, foyer and the gym open, the elevator would not be out.
Correct. We'll have to include some type of security where that elevator would lock down after hours. Absolutely.
Do that with timers or something.
Very necessary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we will, excellent point, we'll.
Yeah, that's right.
And again, and this is all, again, about 80 to 90% existing furniture that's all been verified in terms of sizes, file cabinets, sizes, desk sizes. So that refinement was a big part of these efforts in the last month and a half as we tweak these plans during our department meetings and conversations with all those folks in town.
You know, I remember having that conversation about furniture moving up, but I'm curious about what life is left in some of this spring. Is it fairly new
A
or?
lot of the offices have.
Relatively. Okay, sure.
In all of it.
An inventory of every single office, all of their furniture, all of their files, storage needs. So she has a kind of a rundown of where the new furniture or storage things would come from versus what would be coming. So she is.
I just wanted to make sure that.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
You know,
And we have some recommendations that you may want to consider, even though not necessary. Amanda had brought up, for instance, the chairs are in fine condition, but there's really a mismatch of different types of chairs. And if you wanted to bring some unity into the design, just providing new chairs for all these offices would be a way to potentially do so.
that'd be trouble.
Well, our standards, that's like brand new. The stuff we had before, complaining, they were all old high school drafting tables.
Well, didn't you get the mahogany? Yes, good.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Right, so we good?
Yeah.
Very good.
Okay, thank you, Chris.
Did the site plan show up, or do I need to reshare? No, let me see.
It did it, yeah.
I think I need to switch the file here. Yep. So I chose to, we've been working still. Oh, sorry, I was hearing myself there for a second. We've been working closely with the high school team still to develop all of the site improvements as we coordinate the 1928 site and the high school site. So this was actually their plan, and I'm using that because it shows a little bit wider boundaries than our plan currently does. But working with Russ and Eversource and both teams, we've gone through and identified utilities out in this vicinity to the east of our building, where Page North, that need to remain. The high school team has adjusted their parking area to accommodate those needs, and it's essentially the primary power coming in for Eversource that needs to remain in the current locations. We're still finalizing a few things with Eversource in terms of those vaults, because we need to raise the elevation of one, which it sounds like it's a relatively simple adjustment, but we want that confirmation from Eversource before taking it too far. because moving these vaults, if you had to move the vault itself, is a very, very large undertaking that we don't want to pursue and aren't interested in pursuing for this project, because it's just dollars spent that would be better spent in other places. So we'll make sure to continue to work through these items and with Eversource that the final solution works and is cost effective with how we maintain electrical service to this building. Other services are not as crucial, and so while we're maintaining what we can based on condition and location of services, our water, plumbing, fire protection services, for the most part, those are new services.
Just one quick question. I know you gotta leave, Chris. Maybe Russ can help us. When you talk about the utilities in the vault, are those above ground like transformers, or are these the vaults that are currently underground? Okay, so, yeah.
What we're doing is, Chris, can you slide up to the other parking lot? Right there where the green tree is in the island,
Yeah,
see that little square?
Yeah. yeah,
That's roughly where the current, like, is where the power comes up from the left-hand side of the library
yeah,
into there and send the 1928 into the, where the electrical panels.
yeah, yeah. It comes underground through there. Okay,
So we're working to, the FHS lot is gonna kind of have, gonna get changed there. I see this notes. It's probably gonna be an exit lane. We're gonna lose a few spots there, but we gain, so overall, we're gonna gain in part.
okay,
So it's not an issue that we're ahead by 20 spots, we're gonna lose 7 or 8 spots.
okay.
So we're still to the good of the department, so it's not a big deal, it's just a matter of to change that vault and get new service from the Route 4.
That would be,
Probably talking about $250,000.
okay, make that work.
We're gonna, exactly.
And is that where the power comes in for the new high school? Or is that a separate, completely
That
separate?
comes up.
Okay. Thanks.
And yeah, and as you can see, we're coordinating down to the level of getting our parking lot connected to the tennis courts. We assumed, as we worked through with all these parties that I mentioned before, that on weekends, this parking lot would be utilized if there were any rec events or tennis matches for the high school on those courts.
Gene, do you have one last thing? The what?
It's up to field hockey.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's also,
Like you see that darker shaded green?
yes, oh,
That would be a big feat.
we talked about it over the years a few times.
On the tour. Okay, you good, Chris?
I'm good. Yeah, perfect. Thank you so much.
Okay, all right, thanks, Chris. Thank you, Amanda. All right, so we'll go back to Joe, F2, Town Council Liaison, anything new?
Nothing new.
Okay, Chris, FHS.
You know, just other than what Chris just said, working together to do that, the project's proceeding, and we'll be meeting tomorrow night.
Communications, Kat, Gene, we're kind of
Yeah, we're
building up to our next newsletter, I think.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I think with that, we have new renderings, we have the new entryway, I think we're waiting for that to then put together a newsletter and get that out. So probably looking at December, January time.
So you're planning on renderings being here and,
Yes.
Yeah.
Just kind of showing updates from, here's where you last saw it, you've gone through design development.
Value engineering, that would be, and that will be, I mean, in the very near future, a lot of information. Kathy, financial report, that's been on.
You have the financial report in front of you, right now, we're just, the bond, we have the balance, and we're just, paying.
All right, new business. G1, I need a motion to approve the Silver and Petroselli with voice, please. Okay. Any discussion? All those in favor state by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? the next one, to establish a professional partnerships subcommittee. Kathy, want to explain that? And
So, and Kathy, you can chime in here, so we thought it would be helpful that we're gonna have, I think, three subcommittees. One is gonna be the communication subcommittee, the value engineering, and then the third one will be the professional partnership. What they've done in the high school are those of the group that's for us, we have to get a commissioning agent, and we have to go out for an RFP to do that. So this professional partnership group do the RFP and then vet it for the whole committee, and that would be part of their. They also have to get a professional engineering services, which I think is the third party.
Yeah, in chapter 53 of the town ordinances, which is on public buildings, we by ordinance are required to have this third party engineer review the final plans. It's really just another set of eyes on the plans. So this would be procuring that engineer.
And what we have to do again is an RFP for that and information. And I think it's not on here, but we will talk about it. It doesn't have to be now. Is that I think we have to get an environmental person too, and the professional partnership. I think Chris, our architect, has recommended that he thinks it would be wise for us to use his firm on that. I think the professional partnership needs to vet that too, and if not, we have to go out to bid for that. So it would be the three different ones. The pieces would be.
Right, what he was saying, that wouldn't be Silver Petroselli, it would be a sub force.
so yeah, so
It
for
would
them,
have their contract sub under that service, which we would not.
We need the professional partnership. So I think what we're looking for is to establish a little subcommittee, and they would be busy reviewing RFPs, and we're going to be reviewing it, and then we're going to approve and make recommendations for the whole. That who's going to be our commissioning agent, who's going to be our engineering service, and who is going to be.
yeah, I just for whoever might watch, just explain what a commissioning agent is. Go ahead, Ross.
In other words, they, go through online. When they're being designed, they'll review them through design. And as they're coming online, what we get to as a third party inspector, to make sure we're meeting the design, intent of the design, we're going to function. So it's all worth of it.
Yes.
Okay.
So really, we're having a third party that looks at the design and the cost.
Correct.
We have that. Then we're going to have this commissioning agent that reviews the mechanicals specifically. And I'm sure that this environmental person probably does some of that too,
So
right?
the environmental person is going to come through and do some testing for asbestos and all the things that we both aren't there. Make sure that we're either abating them, covering, sealing them up, some method, so that we're all forthcoming. I'd like to say, I don't know. No comment.
No.
No comment.
He knows, Scott. So-
I think now I think for the agenda would be to establish, maybe we have a couple of volunteers, at least two, I was thinking, three, two would be well, good. And then the next thing would be having a subcommittee. And that would be that.
I just, Sharon, you say this. Are they only going to bring one recommendation?
No, they vet the RFP that we put out itself, the actual solicitation.
Yeah.
The full committee will do the review.
Yeah.
So it's really just, it kind of gets the eyes on it, passes it up to the committee approves it. It kind of expedites the process a little bit.
I was thinking, what we need to do. No, okay. All right.
Okay, so probably 2-3 members minimum.
So what do we have? We have Dan and Jean are on
Communication.
communication. On the value engineering, who is on that?
me and Jack
And like,
and yeah,
Peter
two
and
people,
Jack were on value.
value engineering.
So professional partnership, Chris and Joe.
They're calling it a job. Oh, I'm sorry.
January doesn't make any.
Exactly.
So
So,
do this, do that. I take this.
so we're looking at a motion for Chris and Joe to be our professional partners. Well, I want to make that. Dean. Second.
Second,
Abstain.
better vote for yourself. All right, we'll vote. All those in favor state by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? No opposed, it passes. Didn't change. All right, we're good with that. All right, so a great new business item here, G3, to discuss the 1928 building project fundraiser. And Dan brought this up and Kathy has some more insight, so who wants to run with that?
So, Dan, based on your suggestion at the last meeting about doing bricks or buying bricks, that people really, I passed that around to some of the council people and we've talked about it, and it seems like that would be a great idea and to work like at front entry. And the thought is that when I was talking to CJ Thomas, that he was suggesting he's going to be having a retirement party, a community party. We thought maybe at that time we would do a kickoff and say, if you want to buy a brick for the 1928 building. And the thought was, again, open to suggestion, but one of the things we thought about was that we have a scholarship, the Stephen Bliss Scholarship, which was former town manager, and it has about $1,000 in the account. And we thought that he was the town manager, and we do for people that want to do public service, and we thought in front of the town hall, it would be a scholarship that seems appropriate, and that we'd sell bricks for the Stephen Bliss Scholarship. I happen to know somebody that's
Yeah.
And so it would be to encourage students to apply for the scholarship. The thought would be the things that we've researched on these bricks, you can actually make quite a bit of money. And personally, I think a lot of people want to buy
Yeah,
a 1928 bricks. Yeah.
Does that.
Yeah.
That makes them very successful.
There we go.
Yeah.
I'll sign up.
Yeah.
you could be on a brick stuff.
Yeah. The brick stuff. Put that on next
That's
page.
the other, graduating class,
Right.
those.
And then we thought that we bump up the scholarship, because we've been giving the same scholarship since 1986, the same dollar amount. So I think that would make more people apply for the scholarship, and be to encourage people to get into the public sector. It's this new town. It seems like that would all be kind of a nice match.
Yeah.
That we thought in January, we spoke with Chris, our architect, and I keep on calling them bricks. I'm not necessarily sure actually. They would be brick bricks, yeah. They would be brick bricks, and it would be in the front when you come in and things like that. But we thought we could do a kickoff in January to people to buy the bricks.
Yeah, it's a great idea. It's a great idea. We'll go to a great cause.
Yeah.
Just a couple of bucks.
Not enough.
Yeah.
So Dan, what do you think? This is your idea.
Wasn't paying attention.
What do you think, Dan?
I think it's good.
Good idea, Dan. Love it.
Yep, perfect. Okay.
Bricks go on the wall or on the, so they're more pavers.
Yeah.
Correct.
Well, they're actual bricks. I mean, yeah, that's what you do. You can see them if you go to church.
Yeah.
You mentioned price, you heard it, doesn't
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, we,
I don't
so
know.
is that in the plan?
Devin, if you want, I think we have these entrance ways. Just
Yeah.
read through. Yeah.
It's a great.
How about granite, Russ? You're a big granite guy.
Let's do it.
So all of this is correct. Yeah, so either we were talking about maybe either leave the town of Farmington or walking in the front door. And that all works. Yeah,
Yeah, you need.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So there's a design,
so there's a lot of bricks.
so that's very good.
Got that,
And that's planned for kind of a sitting.
yeah,
Yep.
that's right, yeah. So that's where we can, so that's the brick project.
Perfect, perfect. All right, G4 to cancel the November 28th, 2023, 1928 building committee. We're into December. Well, let's take this care of business.
So moved.
In a second. All right. All those in favor, indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed. Motion passes. Next meeting is what, December?
Well,
Yes.
So the December 12th meeting will be a busy meeting for us.
Yep.
We're gonna have the design development full set of reviews, so that we'll have that. And also the subcommittee of the professional partnership will have the RFP ready for us to approve the RFP. And you'll probably have to start scheduling your value engineering subcommittee.
Yep.
And also start getting ready with your communication subcommittee. So I think we're gonna start making some progress on this and go from there.
Yeah, this will be meat and potatoes and get into the thick of it here.
So you'll reach out to, so, for the meeting again.
Yeah. Yep. Okay, anything else? Kathy, Kat, anything, Devin? Russ? Okay, all I needed is a motion for adjournment. Second, Joe?
No, stay.
You want to say
Got it.
another committee?
Second.
For adjourning, say by saying aye. Aye. Thank you, everyone.